Hey, you know, I tell you, Cameron, we have new listeners coming to our show all the time.
Wow.
Do you know that?
I mean, no.
No,
but thank
right?
you for telling me now.
Okay. I know because I do the book giveaway,
Yes.
my Instagram, which is at The Kristen Show. And I have messages coming in from new listeners all the time wanting a book. So I'm so thrilled. And I just want to tell everyone, every Tuesdays, we have a travel dialogue. Also on Wednesday, every day of the week, there's a different theme or topic. It's like a mini drama every day throughout the month.
Yeah.
So this Tuesday, this travel dialogue talks about getting bumped from your flight. And we talked about getting bumped from your flight, which means to get kicked off the flight.
Right.
Yeah.
Not because you were doing anything bad.
Yes.
That would be getting kicked off the flight.
Right.
To be bumped off is there are too many people and not enough seats. So they choose people to go on the next flight.
Right. And some of you may have experienced that, and we talked about the fact that this frequently actually happens in the States.
Yeah.
I don't know so much for international flights, but I've experienced it in the States.
Yeah, I've only heard it in the U.S. I've never heard of it in Korea, at least.
No, never.
I've never heard of someone getting bumped.
No. Okay, so here are the expressions that we're going to cover. We talked about, just quickly, kick off, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So to kick off, it does mean to take someone off the plane, but there is the nuance of kind of forcing them to leave.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Like they don't want to, but you're making it happen.
That's right. So to be kicked off, and then fix someone up with something.
So this means to provide them with something, to give them something that they probably need.
Okay. And the last one is cut it. C-U-T-I-T. Are you cooking?
No.
No.
Not in this case. This is a special use of the phrase cut it to mean that something is satisfactory. It is good enough.
That's right. And if it doesn't cut it, it's not satisfactory.
It's not good enough.
That's how it's used in the dialogue. Let's go ahead and listen to our travel dialogue.
So, Kayla, what did the lady at the airline office tell you?
She said I was kicked off the flight because I was the last person to check in.
Well, what kind of remedies did she offer you?
She said she could fix me up with another flight, but I would have to pay to upgrade to first class.
That's not going to cut it. I hope you didn't accept her offer.
Of course not. She said it would cost me $1,100.
You can join us on page 50. Our power dialogue is there. Let's take a closer look. Maxwell says, so Kayla, what did the lady at the airline office tell you? So, yeah, you got bumped? What did they say? And what does Kayla say?
She said I was kicked off the flight because I was the last person to check in.
Okay. So, I was kicked off the flight. First of all, I was kicked off the flight.
Yes. So this is used to mean that you were taken off the flight. And this can be like you were on the plane.
Right.
And they pulled you off.
Yes.
But in this case, Kayla is being a little dramatic because the phrasing kickoff is kind of strong.
It is.
To be honest. So Kayla is showing a little bit of her annoyance.
Yeah.
She's showing that she's annoyed by using this phrase.
Very good. Because really, they didn't maybe literally kick her off.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she felt like she was kicked off. And like you said earlier, if you're kicked off something, it is by force.
Yeah.
So like you could be kicked off the team for...
Yeah, you did something wrong.
Right. Or kicked off... What else? Kicked off the project.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you weren't good enough or you made a big mistake. Yeah. So it has a very negative connotation, doesn't it? Okay. So she says she was kicked off and Maxwell says, well, what kind of remedies did she offer you? Now, this is an interesting way of using the word remedy.
It is.
Because remedy we think of when you're sick, What's the remedy?
Yeah, like a medicine, or what is the treatment?
The treatment.
What are the things that you do to correct the disease,
Right.
But in this case, remedy is used for a way to correct something that went wrong. So, in this case, Kayla is not happy because she is bumped off of this flight.
Right.
So the remedy is what the airline does to make Kayla happy.
Yes.
Whether that is, we'll find out, but whether it's a hotel or whether it's food voucher or maybe it's miles,
Right.
airline miles for her to use next time, whatever the company is giving her as like a way of saying, I'm sorry, that would be the remedy.
Yeah. So we use this in the context of there's a problem, and how do we resolve the problem?
Yes.
You got to fix it. You got to patch it up. And even in the office, if there's like a huge problem or an issue, you could, maybe the boss could say, how do we remedy this situation?
Yes.
Yeah.
How do we fix this problem?
That's it. Okay. Kayla says, she said she could fix me up with another flight, but I would have to pay to upgrade to first class. Okay. She said she could fix me up with another flight. So fix someone up with something.
Yes. This means to provide someone with something often that they need.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's kind of like what we would call a perk, a special thing. Let me fix you up with this.
Yeah.
We don't give it to everybody,
Ah.
but you're special.
Oh.
We're going to fix you up with it.
I feel special just hearing you say that. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what it's supposed to mean.
Yeah.
So Kayla, the person on the airline, person in the airline is saying, fix her up with another flight. We don't give all the people other flights.
Yeah.
But we're going to give it to you.
Okay.
That's the feeling. However, there's a catch, right?
Right.
She said that she would have to pay to upgrade to first class.
Okay. So back to fix you up with something. That's a great explanation. So I feel like when you're at a restaurant and maybe like there's a bug in your soup or I don't know, like a piece of hair, whatever it is. Oh, we're so sorry. We're going to fix you up with like a whole nother meal.
Right.
It again, like you said, it's special. We're going to resolve this problem. I think the reason why is because fix is like there is a problem already. And you're trying to resolve
Yes.
the problem. And this is, we're going to make you feel special while we're resolving the problem.
Yes.
Okay. So here, I would have to pay, and this is our power pattern. What does this mean? I would have to, or you would have to.
Right. So maybe we should focus on the would here.
Yeah.
W-O-U-L-D. Would is honestly a weird word in English.
Oh, it sure is.
Right?
Yeah.
So we all know will.
Yes.
W-I-L-L, which is the future.
Right.
But that will can go into the past tense,
Would, yeah.
or it can be a conditional,
Conditional,
an imaginary situation.
which is how native speakers often use this word.
Right. So this would here is, I think, more of, well, it could be both. Because the conversation is in the past, it could be a past tense or it could be the conditional version of this. But it's just a way of saying, if I want this flight, I will have to pay for it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But in this past tense situation, so it's changed to would.
Okay, so if they want the flight, if they would have to pay to upgrade to first class.
And the way it sounds like, from the way that she says it, that she did not take it. So this was the condition. If she wanted it, she could have taken it, but she didn't.
Oh, so there is that meaning.
Yeah, that's the
underneath that.
feeling with I would have. It
I
means
would have.
this was the condition, and I said no.
I said no. Very good. And Maxwell says, that's not going to cut it. I hope you didn't accept the offer. So she didn't say whether she accepted it or not.
Right.
And Maxwell says, oh, that's not going to cut it. So
Yes.
not cut it.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So that's cut it is a way of saying something is sufficient. Something is good enough.
Yes.
Something is satisfactory. But here, Maxwell is saying it's not going to cut it.
Yeah.
He's saying that's not enough.
No.
That doesn't solve the problem.
No way.
And so maybe a good way to think about this is a knife when you are in the kitchen and you've got to cut things. If you have a sharp knife,
Yeah.
it cuts the vegetables or whatever you're doing well, right? It cuts it. It's good enough.
Right.
You have a blunt,
Dull knife.
a dull knife. It doesn't cut those vegetables.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating.
Yes.
It isn't going to cut it.
Okay, not satisfactory. And so Kayla says, of course not. She said it would cost me $1,100. So, like you said, she didn't accept the offer.
No.
All right, let's listen to that one more time.
So, Kayla, what did the lady at the airline office tell you?
She said I was kicked off the flight because I was the last person to check in.
Well, what kind of remedies did she offer you?
She said she could fix me up with another flight, but I would have to pay to upgrade to first class.
That's not going to cut it. I hope you didn't accept her offer.
Of course not. She said it would cost me $1,100.
It's time to do our Power Note section. We're on pages 52 and 53. We're going to give you some example sentences. Let's start with the first mini dialogue, or actually the expression kick off, which means that you are removed.
Yes. Or you are removing someone else. So
yes.
don't confuse this. This also has another meaning to kick off a project.
Yeah,
Means
to
to
start.
start a project.
That's it.
It is not that you're canceling the project.
Right.
So this phrase can have two very different meanings.
So you have to look at the context.
Right.
Okay. In this case, it is to remove something or someone from a group or a list or a flight, whatever it may be. I heard you got kicked off the crew for the yacht party this weekend.
Yeah, the owner wanted someone with more experience working on boats.
Okay. So you got kicked off the crew. So usually it's like a team, a kind of a group effort.
It's a group that you are a part of
right.
that you get pushed out of.
Sure.
It's often because you're not good enough or you get in trouble.
Yes.
Right?
Sorry, but I had to kick you off the team because your grades aren't good enough.
This happens a lot in like American athletics,
Yeah.
sports teams.
It sure
If it's a
does.
school team, all of the students have to usually keep a C. They have to have at least a 70% or higher in school. And if they don't have that, they get kicked off the team.
Yeah, you can't join the team. Yeah, so you have to keep your grades up
Yes.
to be part of the team. Okay, so to get kicked off, could we get kicked off Power English?
Maybe. It feels more like that would be fired, though.
Yeah.
Because there is a contract involved, it's not as easy to use the term kick off,
Yes.
right?
Right.
So things like if a business fires you, or let's say you work in the military,
Yeah.
and they kick you out of the military.
Yeah.
You could say kick out, maybe, but not kick off.
Okay, very good.
So it's more like a team that probably doesn't have a contract involved with it.
Very good. Okay. Fix someone up with something means to provide someone with something. And it's because maybe there was some problem and you're making them feel extra special.
Yes.
Okay. I won't have time to eat lunch today. Is there anything in the fridge I can take?
Give me a minute and I can fix you up with a few sandwiches and some fruit.
Okay. So to fix someone up with some food,
Yeah.
meaning to make food for them.
Or somehow get it. They can buy it.
They can buy
Yeah,
it, okay? But I feel like it's because maybe there should have been food, but there wasn't.
Possibly. Or it could be maybe that one person is busy
Yeah.
and they wouldn't have been able to eat except the other person helped them.
Okay.
For example, you always fix me up with like a sandwich or a salad in between like some of our recordings.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's,
because you're hungry.
I'm a hungry boy.
I don't know. We don't want a hungry co-host. Keep him well fed.
You always fix me up with something to eat. It's
All
very, very nice.
Okay. My brother fixed me up with everything I'll need for a week in the wilderness.
Oh yeah, he got you like your gas lantern.
Yeah.
He got your granola bars. He got What do you need for the wilderness?
Or camping, yeah.
Your iodine pills.
Oh,
So you
okay.
can drink the water.
Sure. Oh, that's a good one.
A flare in case you get lost.
You know what I was just thinking, Cameron?
What?
You also hear this expression, he fixed me up with that person.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we can use it in that context too.
Yeah, that's kind of like a 소개팅 sort of situation.
Yeah.
He fixed me up with. Like he introduced us, you know, in a more of like a dating situation usually.
Right. So as you can see, this expression has a lot of flexibility. Like it can be used in a lot of different situations. It can mean to provide someone with simply something, like fix you up with a sandwich or what have you. But it can also mean like, oh, we made a mistake, like in the dialogue, so I'll fix you up with, you know, a special coupon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cut it is a great expression. It's not it is satisfactory, but if it doesn't cut it, it's not satisfactory.
Yeah, and I would say this phrasing, it's usually in the negative.
I agree.
That doesn't cut it.
That's it. What do you think of my skirt? Too short?
I don't think that's going to cut it for working at a law firm.
It's too mini.
It's too many.
Okay. If this team thinks it can cut it against the defending champions, they're wrong. So they don't have a chance.
Right.
They don't cut it. They can't win if you put it in the negative.
Right, yeah. It is, even though technically the sentence is in the positive, the feeling is negative.
It is negative.
Right?
Yeah. Usually this expression is used in the negative.
Right. Oh, you think you can cut it?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't think you're good enough.
That's right.
Yeah.
That won't cut it. Okay, great expression. Power pattern, I would have to, meaning this is something that I would have to do.
Yes.
But implied, I didn't do it.
Yeah, often it's that I didn't.
Okay. I would have to switch planes twice, which means no thank you.
Yeah. I would have to go back to school for a refresher course. Oh, if I was to do that.
Yeah.
If I was to do that job, I'd have to go back to school.
I don't think
I don't
so.
think I'm going to do it.
Very good. Our power vocabulary today is remedy. It means to correct a mistake or problem, you know, a bad situation. Do check out the definition on page 54. And what else do we need to do?
We need to go to audio 학당.
Yes, we do.
Pay a small fee. And then log in. Type in Power English. Or Power Pattern.
Power vocabulary.
Power Speaking.
Oh, wow.
Or even Evening Special.
Evening Special. Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. We're all over the place.
We are.
Okay. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you for studying with us, and we'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.